So here we are, adding a new trellis to support our grapevine. It's been tricky to get it in because we have to basically redirect the grapevine, and David had to cut some of this trellis to get it to fit over the base of the grapevine over here and over here. Ah! So now he's trying to get the grapevine up onto the new trellis. Last year this thing gave us so many grapes. I still have frozen grapes. Annalise had frozen grapes for dessert last night. That's how many it gave us. So they're very productive vines. We want to make sure that they're supported because last year the trellis that they were on collapsed and then it died. So I trimmed back the vine as best I could, saving as much as I could to remove the collapsed trellis. And now we're replacing it with another cattle panel. So this will be 2 cattle panels long or deep for these grapevines, I should say, because it's 2 vines, not 1. Do you want like a something to clamp it?
Just put a zip tie there.
Yeah, zip ties or something stronger.
Yeah, because that's autumn.
I'm a short one. Strong. I'm gonna line up that center if you can. On the new trellis as possible if we have to tie it. Okay, so now the rest of this vine I'm gonna have to tie up over here so it's on the trellis. Sorry, I'm like multitasking. I have to step in my garden bed. But this will eventually spread over the trellis. Just leave it. I'll come back with something to tie it. I'm gonna go get my stretchy tie for these because you don't want to use anything too restrictive because then as it grows it can't expand. So I'm gonna go get the stretchy plant ties. Be right back. There was just a bee here and then it flew away before I could get my camera recording. Bummer. I'm sure he'll be back. Okay, so I've got my stretchy tie and something to cut it with. I'm going to do my best to tie this on. David's over there repairing the raspberry trellis. I'll show you that real quick. So he tied up this twine to support this red raspberry, but it pulled the cattle panel trellis. It pulled the trellis off this T-post, so we've got to pull it back on and tie it, and I think he needs my extra hand.
I need to loosen it a little more.
Oh, he needs to loosen it a little more. He put it on a slip knot because he's smart like that. So we can loosen it as needed. Ta-da! What's your shirt say, David?
Grow food, build stuff, repeat.
Amen. Okay, I'm going to put this down so I can help him. Okay, so now we're going to try to move this grapevine over as much as we can to the new trellis. Sorry, does that make you dizzy? Because we want it to grow over there, because I usually will plant beans and peas along the bottom of these trellises, and if the grapevine's in the way, they won't be able to grow as much because they'll get shaded out. So the goal is to keep the grapevine over there and grow something else over here. Eventually, though, the grapevine's going to take over this whole area because they do get really big. So I won't be here for that. That'll be the next person's problem, I guess. And they'll just have to grow grapes. Grapes, grapes, grapes. Start a winery. And there we have it, folks. All done. So the grapevine is all on this one side of the trellis. We've tied it, so hopefully it'll stay. It can get pretty windy around here sometimes, so we'll see. I may have to retie some parts. But you'll notice the new trellis, this side, is a little bit taller than that one. And that's just because when we put this one in, the ground was lower because I've added compost. And so now that bottom rung is sort of buried. And this one is sitting on top of the new compost, so it's slightly higher than the old one. We tried to dig it down in a little, but it's difficult. So we'll see how they grow. Blueberries are going crazy though. Look at, see all those flower buds coming? So I've got this blueberry, this spindly looking one that you can't hardly see on the camera, the one in the middle, and then there's another spindly looking one, and a little short stubby bushy one on the other side. They're all different varieties. Don't ask me which, I don't remember. But you do need different varieties to produce berries, so you can't just buy 3 of the same kind, or even 2 of the same kind, and expect to get berries. You have to get different varieties, just like apples. You need a different variety of apple to produce apples, which, since we're out here, I'll show you my apple trees. Look out. Okay. They're growing. You see that? Coming. David did a pretty good job pruning them. This one's leaning a little weird, but it's growing straight after that, so whatever. It is what it is. And then over here, this is the Liberty apple tree, and it's growing good too. Hooray! So once I finish the backyard garden, which still has some work to do, I'll come out here, pull weeds, add compost, mulch, and get ready to plant. This is my yarrow, which I keep saying I need to come out here and remove the dead stuff so that the green stuff can grow. It's so pretty when it's full and bloom. I'm sure you can picture it by the dead stuff. That's a Brussels sprout that I never harvested. A bunch of weeds. Oh, my pansy's coming back. Hooray! This pansy here, this was a volunteer. It just showed up one day and produced this giant, this is the leftovers from last year, this giant poof of purple in my garden, and I love it. And it's back. Hooray! So I'll make sure when we pull stuff that we don't pull that out, because it was amazing and I didn't have to pay for it. That's the kind of thing you love in the garden. Volunteers in the right place. I like to say a weed is anything growing in a place you don't want it to. So here's my other side of the grapes. Try to keep it all on this trellis and not on that one. Because like I said, that one I'm going to plant snap peas and green beans. And over here I like to put my cucumbers. Partly because the cucumbers will get more sunshine. The beans and peas will get less sunshine just by their location. They're too close to the house shadow, I guess. So that's why I plant those things on this side, and the more heat tolerant, sun loving things on this side. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, more to come.